G'day guys, Will from Tassie Freedivers here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the top 4 most common grabbing techniques that I use when I'm diving to catch crayfish. So my favourite sort of grab to do on a crayfish is those grabs that you get sometimes when the crayfish don't have anywhere to go. So in this video here, this crayfish has a really shallow hole. It can't go back very far. So what I do in these sort of situations is I try to grab both of their horns from underneath. That way you can get a really good grip on the crayfish and then kind of wriggle them out. If you only grab one horn, what often happens is you'll end up pulling one off, because when they're in these sort of tight holes with nowhere to go, they can jam themselves in really well. And also make sure you take a big deep breath of air before you go and grab these sort of crays, because they can get jammed in really hard and can be a bit of a fight to get them out. Luckily though, I got this cray out today, which was quite exciting. So the second technique I use for grabbing crayfish is finding a secondary hole that's kind of connected to the same hole that they're currently sitting in. As you can see, this crayfish here is slightly out of reach. So what I'm actually doing now is I'm not trying to grab it, I'm trying to scare it closer to the other side of its rock. And so I think here I've successfully scared it to the other side of the rock. And now, when I dive back down to the other hole in the rock, the crayfish is already over there and is nice and close to grab. However, I still need to be nice and careful with this crayfish. It can go backwards, so I've just got to be nice and slow and then just grab it nice and quickly before it has time to move back. And yeah, so I did get this crayfish and the technique worked. So the third technique I use for grabbing crayfish is all to do with speed. So this cray here is in a kind of rock that I dive at quite a lot near where I live in Kingston Beach, and it's hard to get crays here because they've got these really deep holes that go back a long way, and they're very smart and fast. So what you need to do is just kind of like, don't shine your torch too close to their eyes, otherwise they'll get scared. Just line up your hand and just grab them really quickly out of nowhere before they notice you. If you spend too long mucking around, they will bugger off back down into their holes. Also, if you spend too much time, and also if you go too fast and push kelp and stuff around near them, they will move back and forth. So it's kind of, you've got to go in slowly and smoothly, but also not so slow that they kind of figure out what you're doing. But yeah, so we got this cray in the end, which is quite nice. So the fourth and final technique that I like to use while diving for crayfish is what I call the phone a friend technique. This technique works really well when there's a crayfish that you're not sure if you're actually going to be able to grab because it might be too far in and looks like it's got a big hole and it'll be too fast. So what you do is you say to your mate, look, here's a crayfish, and then it's up to them to grab it. If they don't grab it, it's not your fault. You're not accountable for the miss. But if they do grab it, it's a bonus. So this is a really good technique to use when you don't want to miss a cray and you don't want to be held responsible for not getting a cray in the catch bag. So luckily in this clip, I wasn't sure if I'll get this cray, but my mate Lewis, I phoned him up, I hit him up, he went down and he got the cray, which is really awesome. But yeah, so those are the 4 techniques I use for grabbing crayfish. If you have any others, comment them down below. It's been a bit different doing a talking video on the channel for once. I haven't been uploading for a while because school, year 12, has been quite busy, but as soon as this year's over, there should be a lot more uploads. Stay tuned and subscribe and all that jazz. Cheers guys.